So just backtracking to before Tuesday. Right now, where we are in the history of humanity, which is a very, very small time frame in the history of the universe, so let your mind get a little boggled by that. We have massive shifts that are happening as we speak. And we talk about this all the time. I'm always talking about how there is a shift of energy. We have had a whole range of those happening since the 6 supermoons in 2012 through 2013, 2014, 2015, 2016. And 5 years or 6 years later, we are still shifting because this is the nature of evolution. Everything happens gradually and in an accumulative way. Just exactly as we as human beings are learning and growing and becoming gradually and in an accumulative way. If you follow the pattern of the meditations over the past 2 years, specifically 2016, which was such a roller coaster year of shifting and changing, and all of the shadow of self coming to the fore to be cleansed, healed, changed, outgrown, behavior shifts must happen, all of the energy we required to support that has been given. And somewhere in last year's meditation, we had a big discussion about what is God, and we had a big discussion about becoming a spiritual warrior, and we have had ongoing discussions about the truth. We've had ongoing discussions about moving past the ego self into being the spiritual being here and now, realizing deeply that we are in fact spiritual beings and living from those spiritual values. Even as we are doing the talking here, and I said to Shahina on the phone, sometimes in the middle of a meditation, I want to pack up laughing and I'm going, that's so awesome. That's like so, I can't even fathom what is going on here, because the work that is being done energetically and the work that I am talking, although they go hand in hand, even I can't describe what is happening energetically. I mean, what is going on energetically is too big for my human brain and my human consciousness, which are two completely different levels of intelligence, to hold. Which is why I tried as far as possible to make the Tuesday night meditation easy to do. And we didn't have a big discussion about it. If we are doing it tonight, then tonight I do not have to explain all about the solar plexus chakra again, do I? Not in this group. This group has done solar plexus over and over and over again. We've done so much work with it. We've gone into the subconscious mind. In this group, I can say, okay, everybody, get aligned, open up your solar plexus, let's go. I can do the same thing with the truth chakra up here in the throat. So in this group, we start the work with the understanding of what is authentic power. And remember, we're in the year of living intentionally. What is authentic power? And where are you falling short of being that authentic power? Where within yourself is your solar plexus, the shadow aspects of your solar plexus, taking advantage and overwhelming yourself as truth? Because you are the truth. There is no question of that. Not when you're living from a deeply realized soul perspective. I am the truth incarnate, full stop. But where is the ego self? All of the limitations of physical plane power that go with rank, status, money, blah, 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 getting in the way of you living that innate self. So that's the one conversation. The other conversation is, what does it mean to be authentically powerful? And if we took it outside of the duality, just from a soul perspective, it would mean one thing. If we place it in the duality, within the context of an ego frame, it means something else. So just to put a spanner into the works, you will remember us having an entire conversation about how you cannot have a spiritual life from inside the box of an ego framework. Yeah? In that box of ego framework, if we define authentic power, then we're saying, I, the human doing, in realization that I am in fact a soul having a human experience, and being authentically powerful by, firstly, living by the 4 agreements. This is the practical way, right? And the 4 agreements, as we all know, is that I am impeccable with my word. I don't take anything personally. I don't make assumptions, and I always do my best. And this, in fact, places me beyond and above, vibrationally speaking, other people's opinions, other people's expectations, other people's dramas. It gives me a level of detachment from other people and their illusions of being in this temporary framework and working from their ego interactions with the world. So it sets me above and beyond that in a more contained, somewhat detached space. And from there, the choices I am making are original responses in the now moment. That is what is authentic about it. Let me say that again. From there, having risen above the ego framework here, I am making original choices. I am responding in the now moment. And that is what makes it authentic. It becomes power because it is an expression of you as you are now. Not as you were in the past. Remember last week we did Fuck the Past? I hope you all did that. Damn, was that fun? I know. Did you do that?
Plenty of times.
Okay. Just checking that everybody's past is well and truly fucked. Good. Okay. Now that we've screwed that one over, moving forward, you will notice that we had to deal with the future while moving forward. We actually had to put the future in the past in order to move forward into the now moment. You all got that, right? Okay. Methodology of meditation. We started with the past, we cleared that, we moved into the future, which is based on the past, and we thought, okay, scrapping that, and we moved through it to come into the now moment. And in the now moment, realize the potential of all moments. Okay. That is the power. That is actually where the power lies. Because when you've put the past behind you and everything that has defined you from there, including everything that is ruled by the 4 agreements, all the personality issues, all of the interactive issues, and you leave all of the expectations, all of the grand visions and ideas and notions about self, and even what you expect of yourself for the future, all over there in the past, and you come into the now moment unburdened by all of these notions, there is a new sense of freedom and a new knowledge of self that is not based on the past. And it is that self-knowledge, ultimately, that gives us power, that leaves us authentically powerful. And then anybody and everybody can be and do what they're being and doing without draining power from you. When the solar plexus chakra, when this 10-petaled chakra is focused on controlling and managing and manipulating the duality framework of our ego existence, it is too busy outside to be developing the wisdom, the respect, the solidity of confidence and assurance inside. And this is why it takes so many years of spiritual living and spiritual work to come to that space where one is so self-assured, one is so confident of self, that there is no arrogance in it. There is only a knowing and an acceptance of that knowing that everything is okay, that everything as it is okay, that nothing can actually go wrong, that everything is going horribly, wonderfully right. Does that make sense? That in the duality, everything is going horribly, wonderfully right. And that what you use it for, what you do with it, is up to you. The consciousness to make a choice is in itself powerful. And that power lives inside of you, not external. Then we had an entire discussion about, are we surviving or are we living? And every time we go into survival mode, then all of those things that make our decisions for us drain us of our authentic power and put our decision-making processes in the hands of everything outside of ourselves, which again is not in the least but powerful. When your bank balance is making the decision, that's not authentic power. That's money power. And we all know money has power. Whether it has power over you or not is up to you. Isn't that so? Whether your teacher has power over you or not is also up to you, isn't that so? Yeah, I'm like completely powerless when it comes to all of you. Isn't that so? Which is exactly as it should be. I should have no power, ego-based, human-based power over anybody. Over anything, actually. But authentically speaking, if I can sit here quietly and I can sit down and I can work with your third eye in a whole other country, and I can pull dirty energy out of it and put light energy back, that is my power at work. What you do with the energy that I have sent your way is your power at work. And authentic power, unlike ego power, does not impose on others. It doesn't take from others. It lives only to serve others. Authentic power is never something that is imposed upon or used to manipulate or drain others. The nature of authentic power is that it is empowering for everyone who comes within its radiance. So when I look at my teachers, and they are all exceptionally powerful beings, the thing that comes through from them first is that they are unconditionally loving beings. And that is the basis of their power. And unlike the parent-child relationship that most people are encouraged to have with God or with spirit in any of its forms and frequencies, this unconditionally loving energy with which I live every day is never disappointed. It never says, don't disappoint us. Don't do the wrong thing. In fact, on occasion it goes, ooh, let's do that. It's going to be such a mess. Let's make a mess. And then we'll have fun unraveling it. And whatever fun we're having unraveling something, that experience will be far more valuable than the mess and the outcome. So with spirit, it's a completely different understanding of when things go horribly, wonderfully right and horribly, beautifully wrong. This is our judgment. And they do not come from a space of, uh-oh, you made the wrong decision, we're going to punish you for that. If anything, they go, oh, what fun, let's sort this one out. How can we make more of this? So there isn't judgment, unlike that other relationship that we have with God on the human plane. And that in itself is so powerful. It is an incredibly, authentically powerful experience to be utterly flawed human in an unconditionally loving space. And it's the one thing that each and every one of us is learning to be here, if only because we claim to love a whole lot of people and we don't really know how. And even when we do truly love them, all of the crap sitting in our solar plexus comes up and prevents us from loving anyway. Now, you will have heard me saying that love is a responsibility. It is an ability to respond and to follow that feeling, to go and live it fully, to give of yourself in a way that makes no demands on others but uplifts them so that they are loved. Whether they love you in return or not is just like so ego drama, but that they are loved and that they can go and be and do and be happy wherever they are, knowing that they are loved, that this gift of your presence is given. That means putting that solar plexus ego stuff to bed and saying my self-respect, my authentic power, my truth of self, my assurance, my confidence, my value in the world is expressed as love. And to be so comfortable with that, to be so comfortable with the feeling of that, that you don't actually send out tendrils and attachments waiting for some return on it all. Hard work, people, let me tell you, I struggle with that one every day. I struggle with that one every day. I said to my guides the other day, oh man, I want to use my picture for every little quote, every stupid thing I say on the planet. Please can we put my picture and then the words next to it? And they just shook their heads at me and they laughed, right? This is like such an ego drama. Because they said, whose words? Whose words? Those are not your words. They're not even our words. Everything we are saying, everything you are saying, everything all of those people with their pictures on Facebook are saying has been said before. Whose words? Nobody must take the credit for anything. It was here before you came. It will be here after you have gone. Why are you taking the credit? This is your ego drama. Put it down now. It's not yours. Nothing is yours. If we gave it to you, it's not yours. And if you gave it to other people, it's not yours. Why are you claiming things? So I deliberately went and hit the like button on all the pictures with words. And then they said, why do you need to market the truth? That is a power game. When you have to market the truth, you are engaging in a power game inside the box. And when you market the truth, is it still the truth? How can something that is part of an ego game still be the truth? There is nothing authentic about it. Take it outside the box. Take it outside that framework. So I took it out. And I put it on the side and I said, now what? They said, leave it alone. It will grow. The minute you take it out the box, it will grow. This is the nature of what is authentically present. Look at the trees outside. They're growing. Authentically present. It's not so difficult to find what is authentic in the world. If you take off the ego lenses, you will see what is authentically present in the world. It is only from inside the ego box, with all of the limitations and judgments, where you cannot see anything authentic. And everybody has doubts and questions. And we live in the age of deceit and lies and webs and entanglements and complications. So it's very difficult to trust, to know what is authentic. And if you can't find it outside of you, then best you go looking inside of you. Where else can it possibly live other than inside of you? The authenticity of a tree lives within the tree, not in the air around it. The authenticity of the stars is in the stars, not in the atmosphere around it. Even the earth itself, every layer of the earth has its own power. Every element of the earth has its own authentic power that lives in the earth itself, not in its atmosphere. So your authentic power cannot live outside of you. The truth of you cannot be separate from you. This is who you are. But living that, working with that, trusting that, and moving past the concerns and the fears and the vulnerabilities and insecurities of the solar plexus, that's the hard work. That's what keeps us stuck. So every time we have this discussion about living intentionally and we learn a new technique, that's what we're doing this year, and every time we learn a new notion about it, it's not new. We've talked about it before. Now we're just doing it at another level. Isn't that so? I so love that you sit on my right-hand side to agree with everything I'm saying. Yeah, it's like Michael on the right-hand side of God, you know? My old husband says, he only has his trident over there. And his trident doesn't nod. Okay, so Shirdi Baba had a big joke about this whole thing, because he was laughing at me and he says, why does anybody have to search for authentic power in the first place? You know? Why must you go looking for this? You are born like this, you will die like this. Whether you realize it in this lifetime or not, this is who you are. Why must you go looking for it? Surely in your devotion to God, in your devotion to a guru, in your devotion to a philosophy or a principle, you will feel your authentic power. Surely that is where you will find expression of it and become it. So why must you go looking? In meditation, in your interactions with other people, in quiet moments with yourself, why must you look for this authentic power? Don't you already know that it's there? So I was like, no, we don't know. I felt a little stupid as I said that. I felt very sheepish actually. And I thought I was talking on behalf of the entire humanity and letting everybody down by saying, actually no, we don't know. We live in a world that has not taught us to be our authentically powerful selves. If anything, we live in a world that has broken that power down and distributed it, fragmented it into so many other things that we have to go running around in circles in order to gather all of those things up like an Easter egg hunt. And when we've got all of those things in our basket and we say, okay, now I can be powerful, we discover that those things are not powerful at all. If anything, they have just been the distraction from what is truly powerful. And we don't even know what is truly powerful. And this is why we have big discussions about being authentically powerful in the world and discovering this from a soul perspective. And he shook his head at me and he said, but that's not new. That has been happening all the time. You just have more things to gather in your basket now. You just have more things to go running after. So why are you still looking? Stop looking. Just stop looking. And you know, when he said that, I thought he was being, I don't know, like he was just, what were you doing? Giving good advice, okay. Well, at the time it felt like he was just putting me off track and he was disappointed that, you know, I couldn't get the right answer on this one. And I felt stupid again, like, why wasn't I getting this right? Why wasn't I finding the right answer? And I could feel this churning in my solar plexus because I was giving all the wrong answers. And this is my master, this is my teacher I'm talking to. And like most of my students, I also want to, like, you know, give the right answer. I want my teacher to smile at me and go, yes, great job, so glad you got that one. And of course he was smiling at me anyway, but I was sitting there thinking, I want the right answer. I need to get this one right. What am I missing here? What happened there? I'm like struggling with myself to get to it. And then I looked at him and I said, but you love me anyway, right? And he was like, yeah. There's no anyway about it. Only on the ego plane do you have to say, I love you anyway. There's no anyway about it. When we love, we love. It is because you have forgotten that you go in search of something called authentic power. It is because you have forgotten that and you have created rules around love and you have created rules around how to be even, that you are searching for something called authentic power. There are no boundaries between being loved and loving, but you've created those boundaries and you've created the limitations and the restrictions. And now when you want to go and be loving, you have to find authentic power in order to do that, as if it is an instrument of your being loving. So even this thing that you call authentic power doesn't really exist. It is a notion of your human consciousness as part of your own journey. And you create these separations between what is truly you and everything that is you in the universe so that you can work at it. This is how complicated you human beings are. So when he walked the streets of Shirdi, he arrived with his authentic power. He knew he was that, and that was it. He didn't have to go in search of something that he is. The acceptance of that was easier for him than it is for us, because he can remember God saying, go, be with my power. Everything that is mine, I give you for your human incarnation. Go, be my work in the world. And we have forgotten, mostly. We have forgotten. And so we have created a system of work here, and it's a lot of work and a lot of years. We have created a system of work and a pathway of spirituality so that we can go and remember that message whispered into our ears, whispered into our hearts, whispered into our consciousness through time immemorial, before creation as we witness it even existed. So, when the Creator, in all of her wisdom, it's International Women's Day this month, so from today onwards, God is going to be female in the center. Any objections?
It's always female.
Thank you. Any objections? Okay. It's International Women's Month, as of, well, the 8th of March, so For this month anyway, God is going to be female. Lord husband agrees, he goes fine. No issues with that. Shriddhi Baba goes fine. No issues with that. You will notice that there is complete silence from the peanut gallery on this one. I love it. I just love it. So, we're complaining. No? Okay, no complaints on my left-hand side either. We are claiming the divine feminine power this month as being the supreme power. And if there are any complaints, please send them in writing. It's PO Box 10791 over Port 4003. Even Spirit can send it in writing. Why are we challenging everything? Yeah, what the hell? It's good fun. See, authentic power. Authentic power says, I can say that. And whether you object or not is okay. If you object, great. If you don't object, great. Makes no difference to me. Huh? If you object, that's your objection. I can honor it, I can respect it, and get on with my life. If it is a valid objection, meaning valid to me and the choices I am making for me, then I won't object to your objecting. Isn't that so? Because now you will be delivering a truth that serves me. Yeah. And the nature of authentic power is that it attracts exactly that. It attracts the truth that serves you. Everything else falls away. The nature of authentic power is that it draws other authentic vibrations towards you. Not ego vibrations, but authentic vibrations. Authentic meaning real, or as Azrael likes to say, Rael. Not illusionary, not la la land, not game oriented, not ego based, but Rael. Something that you can depend on, rely on, trust as an instrument of your own vibration for your own use. And even that we find very difficult as human beings to accept in others. We have grown up in a world that is very suspicious of kindness. We have grown up in a world that cannot accept the truth. We have grown up in a world that says if somebody is giving you something here, they're sure as hell taking something there. So everybody has a level in this whole spectrum called life, a level of living defensively. And we have to check those levels, because living defensively in itself detracts from our authentic power. We get so accustomed to being defensive outwardly that it becomes defensive inwardly against ourselves, against our own truth, against listening to ourselves and feeling ourselves and knowing ourselves. And if all of this is about self-knowledge, then we are wasting time and energy being defensive inwardly. I was being defensive inwardly because I was thinking, I want the right answer. Why aren't I getting this? Oh, I must be struggling with this. Why I'm so stupid. Yeah. And I'm only like that in the presence of high vibrational masters. I actually don't feel at all stupid in the face of humanity. I only do that with energies that are so high, so much higher than my own, that I can feel myself stretching and blossoming to feel it. And you know exactly what I'm talking about, because when you are faced with people who are not as intelligent, not as expert, not as clever, not as knowing or as intuitive as you, then you don't feel threatened either. You don't feel insecure in any way. You don't have any urgency or anxiety to want to get to the right answer, because in that moment you are feeling powerful. You are more than the other. But when you are faced with somebody, some energy system, some power that is greater than yours, and you can feel that you are less than the other, then we go into ego games. Then the insecurities and the defensiveness come to the fore. And the truth of who you are flies out the window. The ego system of the solar plexus blossoms, all of the sunspots flare, and we have trouble instead of connection. With spirit, thank God, there is always connection. Because they don't have ego, right? So when I'm banging my ego head against spirit, there isn't an ego head banging back at me. They're just accepting. They're usually laughing. They're going, okay. Yeah, take your time. We have all the time in the world. We're quite timeless about this. Even if it takes you 6 weeks, we're still here. It was that moment for us, you know. But here, time, space, money, rank, size of car, speed of car, number of people you know, how many friends you have on Facebook. Dear God, there are all of these ways of determining whether or not you are powerful. Inauthentically so. Have I completely confused you? Not yet? Damn, I thought I was doing so well. Alright. So on Tuesday night we did this meditation. Fabulous meditation, because I did it with my guides before and I thought, oh, that's so awesome. I was actually just like so awed by the work. Because what we did in that meditation was we brought the solar plexus energy, the high vibrational solar plexus energy of your higher self and your monadic self. Now in this group everybody knows what a monadic self is, right?
No.
I obviously live on a planet where everybody knows what a monadic self is. Okay, monadic self. Your monadic self is I the soul as I am created by the Creator. So stop for a moment and in your mind's eye imagine that there is this high vibration, maybe the Om vibration, who knows. So there's the Om vibration with the intention to manifest. The intention to manifest is vegetables. The intention to manifest is various types of animals. The intention to manifest in every possible form and frequency that the universe in its multi-elemental system can create. Whatever the intention is, it becomes. This is how it works. So there's this source self, like this big hubble bubble, toil and trouble ball of energy, and there is an intention to manifest. And out of that comes what we call a monadic body, a single cell element or entity. That singular entity carries with it an intention, pretty much like the CEO of a corporate, right there at the top. Thankfully, this is spiritual vibrations we're talking about. There is no corruption here. This single cell entity, in its intention to continue to manifest, because remember, it is the intention of all creation to become more, to evolve, to grow, to present in various forms and frequencies that which is required for all other intentions. So here is an intention and it says, oh, this intention says we need somebody to experience all of the trees and the lions and the tigers that have already been created. And maybe they should be able to see unicorn. Oh yeah, let's create a human being. So here's this monadic body. And in its intention to manifest into a form, it splits almost into various different departments. It becomes at least 12 different entities. Now this is soul psychology. We estimate 12 different entities, but who knows? Who knows? Whether it is 12 or 56 or I don't know. It's just convenient. So there's 12. 12 departments, all with an intention that meets the first intention. So everything flows upward in maintaining the original intention of source. And everything that flows from source continues that intention to manifest, to create what is required. Those 12 systems that come from your monadic body are known as an oversoul. I generally skip that stuff. And from there we have 12 by 12. This is why I skip that stuff. Because the oversoul in this classification system divides into 12. So I have 12 oversouls dividing into 12 souls, which gives us 144. You notice spirit loves the number 12, or rather the classification system around spirit loves 12. So now we have 144 souls at the next level, known as your higher self. Your higher self is then able to manifest as 12 different beings, souls, on this plane and in other galaxies, in other forms of intelligence. So this higher self has the capacity to exist, to be 12 souls in other spaces. Is this making sense? Okay, so 144 there, and all 144 times 12. See how multidimensional you are? So this is why in the meditation, I went from either soul to either higher soul to either monadic being. Because while I can see our connectedness to everything else across the spectrum of consciousness that is available there, I am also more interested in the direct line of continuity between you as you are here now, your connectedness to your higher self, and the 11 other souls that are feeding into that one system. And then, straight up, you know me, I like to go straight to source. So right to the top, to the CEO, skip the middle management, skip to the directors, etc. Straight up to source. So me, myself, and I. Your monadic body is the highest possible vibration of you as it exists separate and completely connected to source. It is the first identifiable existence of you. And it also has chakras. For understanding that meditation, you need to know that the solar plexus of the monadic self will hold the authentic power and the intention as it has come from source. By the time it comes to your higher self, the intention may have diluted or shifted or been recategorized a little. So what we were doing was bringing all of the original power into the power as it is given here to this spectrum of light, and then bringing that to you as you are now. So the intended power, or the power of the intention as it existed before the higher self became available, is included from its highest vibration as you exist within source itself. That is why it was such a high vibrational meditation. It is as if I connected you to yourself in the heart of Shiva. And who could possibly be uncomfortable there? And then of course it is as if I connected you to yourself in the throat of Shiva. And who can possibly be uncomfortable there? Having done all of that work, we are now sitting in a space where this vibration needs to be put to use, where it needs to be lived inside out. I do not expect anybody to become a crusader, but at a cellular level, where your ego self and the truth of you battle every day. They literally go to war inside of you every day in order to maintain an immune system, to maintain your presence on this plane against anything and everything that is a lower vibration that can in fact harm you. And not to put too fine a point on it, people, but you do know that we have a whole range of radioactive material just killing our oceans at the moment. No? No? Hello? Yeah, at the rate we're going, all of humanity as it exists now should be completely extinct in about 3,000 years. Our oceans are going to take a lot less time. I mean, those should be completely mangled in what, 100 years? If they are unable, I mean, as it is, we have weird things happening in our oceans. The ocean floor is shifting so dramatically that it seems that life forms from underneath the ocean floor are being released into the oceans. There are things going on the earth plane itself that we are so unaware of. And there is so much that we are not told. as it exists, we are a dying planet. And one might ask, why bother then to learn all of these things? Why bother to learn about love? Why bother to evolve? Well, the fact is that when a planet dies, it re-emerges. It goes through its own reincarnation. And all of the souls who are here now are going to be born onto it again. So you are here in order to learn this lesson, so that somewhere in this ongoing flow of evolution, we might actually wind up on a planet and learn how not to kill it. We will know how not to kill it. We will arrive authentically powerful. We will remember what God has whispered into our ears and into our hearts, and we will live it from the beginning. Even if that's only 8,000 years away. For either soul, it is a click of the fingers. So yes, we must still learn. Yes, we must still harbor all of the wisdom of these experiences, because when this earth has to replenish itself and rebalance itself without this lack of consciousness and mindfulness in its way, we will come again and again and again. And hopefully next time we will do it better. The beginning of a golden age for the planet may not be ours to witness, but it is certainly ours to create. And that is what oneness consciousness is about. If you're doing this work for you only, then, well, have fun with that. Not much I can say to that one. Okay. Did it get exceptionally hot in here? Thank you. Are you feeling it? Okay. Have we gotten to sauna level yet? Sauna level? Yay! Now, who else can command the sun to settle on your skin? Eh? Don't you love it? You think I'm talking for the sake of talking? Have we finished work yet? Thank you. Almost, little bit more. Almost finished. Almost finished. Little bit more. Just breathe, people. It's okay to be this hot. It will all cool down just now. The dog's fine. Have you noticed? She's fine. I know, even I'm just like, look at me, I'm wilting here. Please. All right. All this talk about authentic power. Most of you have done this meditation already. So you know the pattern of the meditation, right? Okay, let's do it. Let's meditate.